Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is my veggie garden tour. So this is kind of on the one shady end of the yard. This zucchini got some powdery mildew just set in with the last rain, but these have been cruising along, getting eaten up, but they're still popping. We got a 5-pound something zucchini out of there, and a bunch. I think we've gotten probably a dozen of them. Not quite, maybe like 8 of them so far. Beans pretty well got drowned out by that grass. I'm gonna have to do a lot better job next year with covering this up, but it was pretty well just blank this year when we went in here. But there's a few beans still popping. The corn didn't do as hot as I thought. I actually was a lot more bummed about it, but then I noticed there are some ears on them, so we'll get some corn. I don't know how big and viable they'll be to eat or whatever, but yeah, they didn't even get up to the top of the fence before they tasseled or whatever they call that. So yeah, I'll have to get them started and going a little better next year. And then potatoes were in here too. They flowered. This section flowered and starting to die back, and then these were the late starts that we found in the garage that were our seeded ones. They came up turning green, but they really didn't do much, so I'm not expecting a ton from those. But yeah, it's just a strip along the fence there. Alright, this is the potato patch that was kind of full up. A lot of them are dying back. We have dug some out to eat. They're good. I will say I didn't do as much in here as far as like applying any fertilizer or anything. We put all the leaves from last year in here, so there's a good layer of the leaf on the ground. But yeah, I think I would have had a better yield just digging up the little ones that we did. A lot of them are coming out pretty small. A couple good sized ones, but it wasn't like that last year. We got a lot better result last year, I think. I did plant some asparagus in here. It's real hard to see, but there are a few of them that popped up, so I'm excited because we'll get something coming for next year. And then yeah, that rhubarb popped back real nicely, so we'll get another cutting on that one too. So, but that's just the potato patch. All right, and this is in the front yard. This is where we just put cardboard down and then laid a 3-4 inch layer of some cheap garden soil that we got, and then transplanted a bunch of tomatoes, and then sunflowers really took off, kind of blew up, looking cool. The ginormous ones are died off a little, I guess, seeding out. But yeah, the tomatoes, these first 3 rows were volunteers from the garden and from last year in the back, so I just transplanted them. They weren't started indoors, but they're popping some decent ones. They didn't do as well as the seeded ones that I popped indoor. That was the spot in a post a while back. I had that fungus that kind of popped up around the base of the tomato there, and it just basically powdered away or disintegrated away. It never seemed to hurt the tomato. It didn't, still popping these tomatoes, still looks nice. But yeah, these 2 rows these were the ones that were started indoors, and they're really dropping them. So I mean, there's quite a lot of tomatoes down that row. And then there's a second row of them here too. So plus we already pulled like 3-4 bowls out of this. So and we got some beans growing along with them too. That worked out pretty good, actually. I'll probably do that again next year. They were a little bit harder to get in there and harvest them, but once I pruned up the tomatoes, it made it easier to get around them. And we got quite a few beans out of that, so yeah, that's the tomatoes. Alright, so this is the main part of the garden where we got 6 beds that we put in. I guess I'll kind of walk down this side. This first bed is the strawberries that were on their, I guess, second season. They really kicked ass this year, but they're pretty well done. I got one sundial going there and a volunteer that came up. I got some fall broccolis, and there's some cauliflower and broccoli along the side there. These are doing really well. I'm happy with them. They've been seeming to really like it. The watermelons grew up and over, actually started to connect to the other one over there. But these, yeah, we got 3 melons here, 4 of them or whatever, but I don't know that I'm going to do that next year. The melons seemed real heavy. If I step in here where they pull on the bar, where the vine's connecting to the bar, it seems to really like scar that vine, and then the weight of them, they've been dropping. We've lost more melons than we've had. So I did clean out some. I had some radishes in here, and I cleaned them out, and I put in a couple little cauliflowers in there to see how they'll do. These peppers have been picked through. We got a little carrot patch here that has been really great. They're really nice looking carrots. We're just letting them fill up a little bit, and then I'm hoping to get another round planted in here yet this fall. I put in a couple late cucumbers just to see how they'll do, and then there's the cauliflower, broccoli, cauliflowers. These ones are really doing their thing, and then there's one back here kind of got a little tore up, but I actually think they're starting to set the heads there. So, and then in this third bed there's some head lettuce. There was some onions in there. They pretty well died out. I just got to pull them out of there. They didn't really get very big. So, and then a few more broccolis. These were some of the fall broccolis there, and some cauliflower. I replanted some more cucumbers there, but these kind of yellowed, and they've been slowing down at producing. So I don't know if it was the heat or whatever, but I'm just planting some to see how they do. Some like the next round, see if they'll get up there. This is the Rutger tomato that has the yellow spot, septoria on the leaves. We've been cutting it out of there, but we did pull some nice tomatoes out of there. And then this one seemed to set a few more, so we'll get a next round, I guess. But these watermelon in this other arbor here they didn't even make it to the top, but this other one, they're growing right over, made a bridge over to it. So there's a couple of them hanging there still, and the cantaloupe in there. Alright, now these next set of beds, there's 3 romas here and a pepper. But I pulled a rutabaga out of there and a couple more, and then all these, there were beets all in there that I pulled out. But yeah, these tomatoes, these romas are kicking butt. And then there's a few carrots. The interplanting with the carrots didn't work so well. They need a lot more sun than I realized. So, but I did start some more carrots here. I put down some alfalfa pellets, so to hopefully bring something back to the soil. And then there's another round of broccoli in there to see how well they'll do. And then I replanted. I just trimmed up these so you can see I just kind of lollipopped the cucumbers and then allow some sunlight for these ones to grow in. So hopefully as those grow up I'll be done with these. But they were throwing really weird cucumbers, and now they're kind of throwing a normal looking cucumber. But before they were like really fat, and then they'd taper to an end, and they almost had like this weird curl to them. So I don't know if that was a result of the heat or whatever, but these were a lot yellower. They've kind of greened up a little bit. Maybe they were needing some fertilizer. But there's one sunflower there finishing out, another one, that's a mini one that formed. These cherry tomatoes kind of tested me on this Florida weave style. I got all the way up to the top of the stake there, and they just kept growing, and they keep growing, and they're like falling all the way down to the ground here again. But yeah, for the most part, these these have been a crowd favorite for everybody. They're real sweet, and grandson likes coming in and picking them off there. There's a few more aromas. And like I got these carrots in here, which probably aren't gonna be much, I don't think, but we'll let them go till next year and see how they do. And then we really kicked butt with the cayennes this year. I don't know, that was the one pepper that really dumped. Them and the jalapenos seem to do okay, but the green peppers and the banana peppers and stuff, not so much. And I got the tallest of the sunflowers here, and I'm guessing it's around 10-12 foot at least. 12 foot maybe, I don't know. It's huge though. And then I got some pickles. Yeah, this is kind of what the cucumber is doing. See how it tapers like that? I don't know, but the one pickle turned yellow and died out of there. I don't know what it really had, so I replanted some cucumbers in there too. And then I put some, this was all lettuce. I pulled the lettuce out, and then, sorry, this pepper is like been a pain in the butt, but this, pulled all the lettuce out, and I replanted carrots in there. And then these are some more cayennes, but they're just loaded with them still. Can't believe how many cayenne peppers we got. And then the green peppers did okay. I guess we're getting a few off from them. There's 3 or 4 of them in here, I think, and they're, I don't know, we got a couple per plant maybe still, so they're doing all right. And then this section I got cleaned out. I think I'm gonna do like green onion or something in there, or maybe more carrots. I don't know. There's 1 carrot in there. The carrots didn't seem to germinate real well in this, but they were like later spring that I was trying to start them, and we got a really hot start. So apparently you got to keep carrots, you got to keep the soil damp. That's kind of why I just, if I see it's all dry, I just come through and kind of lightly get it wet. But some people even said to like cover them to get good germination, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So, but now that I'm stepping back into the sun, I'm trying to show the whole garden. But yeah, that's the main part of the garden there, and yeah, I've had real good luck, real good success this year. So I appreciate everybody that took the time to listen to this and watch along, and hopefully get an idea for your garden or something. But yeah, peace and love always. I almost forgot our compost pile with all the random squashes and zucchinis is really stretched right out here, and stretched into the other compost pile. Sorry, the sunlight's kind of blocking it here, but these are really super healthy. I have not seen any sign of issues with them. There's a few leaves starting to die back here now, but man, they didn't get any kind of like eaten up by bugs. They were the powdery mildew that I was seeing on the other ones. I mean, it's a little bit right here on this dead leaf. Some of these kind of got broke. I don't know, an animal or something climbed in there, because one of the mornings all this was parted away and whatever. I don't know if it was one of my dogs or not, but yeah, it's climbing into the next year's compost pile. So anyway, I guess that was the PS on the video. But yeah, those are the trying to back up here. These are the compost squashes there. Goggles, and you're ready to work in? Yeah.